Post-Quincy. We knew they were going to be an older team, one of the best in their league this year, a lot of juniors and seniors, physical team, scrappy. And I thought it was really good to play that team because we saw some of the things we do really well, and we were exposed on a little bit, the things we got to get better at, which was good on both ends. And overall, it's always great to get out there and play. The guys have some jitters, first time getting out there and kind of playing in front of people and with a crowd, and you get some early season jitters at times. But I thought a number of guys did a lot of good things. I liked the way, especially early, I liked our pace. I would have liked us to keep that going, but part of that too was subbing. We took look at a lot of guys in the second half and doled out some minutes there. And, obviously when you get into the meat of the season, that's going to bear down a little bit. So overall, it's good to win. It's good to get out there. We'll have a great film to watch, and see where we need to improve. We got 8 days until next Friday when this thing tips off for real.
Coach, what did you see from Joey and Aaron tonight that excited you most?
Yeah, well, I think you guys see Joey. Just his size is a difference maker for us. I thought he could have been a little bit stronger with the ball at times, but I think you guys see his activity around the basket, being able to alter shots, block some shots, finish at the rim, to be able to bring him off the bench and sub out. It's just a dimension we haven't had. And I thought he played well, and I think he'll play a lot better, the more he settles in. And then Aaron, Aaron, for the first time putting on the uniform to come out and get 15 points in 13 minutes, that's pretty darn good. And he can shoot the leather off the ball. And, it puts a lot of pressure on defenses when you have a guy like that who can put it in the basket. And he's a big part of what we're going to do going forward. So it was great to see him go out there and have some success.
Coach, 2 questions. First of all, I know you said a couple days ago that you hadn't decided in the starting lineup. Was this sort of an experiment, or is this what you're thinking?
Yeah, no, I just went with the older guys. I haven't made a final decision. We switch it up in practice all the time with those 2 spots, and I just rewarded the 2 juniors. I knew I was going to play all those guys on that spot, so I wouldn't read into that at all. I thought they did a good job. We got off to a good start, so I thought Sanjay and Tapp did a good job, and they practiced well. So I just wanted to take a look at that group. Plus, Vic had missed some time. He's getting through a shoulder injury, so normally he would probably be out there, but he had missed some practices. So nothing to read into. All those guys are going to play. So whether they play, really, I view all those guys as potential starters. So I want them to have that ego and not really get caught up on who's starting, who's coming off the bench. But I thought they got off to a good start, so it was a good thing.
And I don't know if the numbers back this up, but it seemed like you went with, when Tapp was in the game, was often with Lumpkin, and a lot of times Vic was in with Aaron. Was that a conscious decision?
Yeah, I'm trying to use Aaron and Tapp at that spot. It's really a lot of the things we do. That's kind of a shooting spot, and something their coach even said, the way we can spread with our shooting is a positive thing. So, I don't know how much you'll see Aaron with Tapp. So, I think you'll see Tapp with Sanjay, Tapp with Vic, Aaron with both Sanjay and Vic. So, we're just taking a look at some things. Obviously, it's super early, and we're going to see a number of different lineups as we go forward. But that's kind of the way we've been practicing. We've liked that dynamic, and we'll see how it goes going forward.
Coach, did it surprise you at all that it took Brian McIntosh till the second half to get on the score sheet?
Yeah, I thought he was playing pretty well. He got the foul trouble, and I took him out of the game. I thought he was actually playing with a good verve and creating. He had a couple drives there where it was at the other end. It was hard to tell, if he got hit or it got knocked away. And I think he played. He's going to be fine. A couple fouls kind of derailed him a little bit. And again, he got his minutes, but he's going to get more than 22 minutes. And in an exhibition like this, you're kind of experimenting with a lot of things. Maybe running some different things when you know during a game, oh, he hasn't scored, let's get something going for him to get him going. So I'm not worried about Brian at all. I think he's going to be fine, just fine.
Chris, Trey had 5 assists, no turnovers in the first half. I think it was 6 assists, 1 turnover.
Yeah.
What do you think about the way that aspect of the game has come along this season, especially since you're kind of in it 1 time?
Yeah, no, we need that. We need, Trey's really our secondary guy after Brian. And I really liked his decision making. I thought he did a good job, and that's been an evolution for him. You guys that have followed us have known he's always been a guy who could score the ball, but his ability now to see the floor better when he gets that attention. He's such a dynamic scorer. To make the reads he did, I thought he had some really good kicks. He had some dump offs to the big guys. And, 6-1 was tremendous, and I thought he played a great first half. And then the second half just got kind of disjointed. We got a lead, and then we start playing a bunch of young guys. And but I thought he was really good in the first half.
Coach, there was a moment in that first half where Alex didn't dive after the
Yeah.
ball, and he had a pretty emotional reaction to that. How do you
Yeah.
think he responded?
Well, I think he responded good. I told him, that's what our program is built on, guys getting on the floor. Jordan had just didn't go for the ball and kind of pried it loose, and he had a chance to dive, and he didn't. And the kid from Quincy did dive, and he was the one who got it. So, basically I just told him, he knows too. He knows. Those are the plays that we need to make. That's what we pride ourselves on making those hustle plays. And I thought he responded well. I thought he played stronger after that. Again, games like this are kind of hard for the bigger guys because you're seeing a lot of small lineups. They're getting put out on the floor a lot. And I thought for the most part he did a pretty good job.
Alex only had 2 defensive rebounds
Yeah.
in 19 minutes. Was that a
Yeah.
product of sort of what happened last year sometimes with him getting pulled away from the basket?
Yeah, I thought so a little bit. I think they were making a conscious effort to get him out on the floor because they had 2 bigs that could both kind of, if you call them, they were 6'5", 6'6" guys that could get out on the floor and make a shot. So he had to respect that. And I think sometimes when it pulls him out, he's not the most nimble guy. So kind of gets him away from the paint. But his rebounding is something that's key for us. We need him to take pride in that. We're always on him, and he wants to be a good rebounder. So I think Quincy did a good job of getting away from the paint, which we had a big advantage on the boards, which a lot of that had to do with our size. But I was pleased with the way our guards rebounded. Trey with 5, Scotty was 7, Vic was 6. So those guys I think made up for it. The wings did a good job on the boards.
And also, a couple of weeks ago you said that this team was further ahead on offense than defense. Do you think that's still the case?
I do. I think we showed we can put the ball in the basket. We can really score. I think we got to play stronger. I thought Quincy did a good job of kind of getting into us a little bit defensively, poking some balls away. I think it was a good learning experience for our guys. But we have a good shooting team with a couple good big guys that can score, so it puts a lot of pressure on the defense when that's going. And we have to. I think we did a good job defensively. You look at the numbers; they shoot 30% from the field. So overall, it was pretty good. We could be better. There's no question. This is going to be a great teaching tape. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the game tonight and be able to get tomorrow and really show the guys, because until you play these games, you don't really know where you're at. And that's why this, I give Quincy credit. This was a good scrimmage for us. You guys saw. They were really well. They were well prepared. They played really hard. They had physical guys. They cut hard. They ran their stuff. So when we had mistakes or miscommunication, they made us pay. And that's what's great. We need that, for us to get better heading into next week.
Anything else for Coach?
I just have one more actually.
Yeah.
Did you ask them to press you in the first half?
No.
No.
That was, he had asked me and I just told him to play like he would play. They pressed last year a little bit off of free throws, so, and we had the 1 turnover, but the other 2 times they did it, we beat it for scores, and they just never went back to it. So, nothing they did. It was all stuff that they were just doing. We didn't talk at all about play some zone or press or any of that kind of stuff.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks guys.